What's going on, guys? Bradley Martin, start of a YouTube video. It's a fun day today, and I'm gonna get my boy over here. He's doing a seminar at Zoo Culture Gym, so shout out to Mark Bell. He's taking photos right now. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look how pretty. Look how pretty he is. Yeah. Wow. He changed his shirt and everything.
He's got a collared shirt.
He changed the shirt. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Look at his face. Hold on, let me get a photo. Look at
She's goosing me over here.
She is?
He keeps looking at me every time he says something like that.
He's just so like, he's magical. But anyways, we got the whole crew here for the seminar. A lot of
people are here.
The whole gang, bro. I'm excited for this. So they're here because we're like, yo, we're having a seminar. It's free. It's at Zoo Culture. It's in the Valley, Woodland Hills. Mark, when you're done, I'm gonna wait on you. We're filming this video though. It's very important. It's for the
other camera.
So, is that also for the internet?
Yeah.
No.
Hello. Good to see you. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, we gotta get him. 1 sec. So this is for what? It's for YouTube.
The internet.
It's for the internet. So we just did a podcast. If you guys want to check the podcast, check below. Like probably the first link or the second. But I want you to. What are we doing here? Tell them today.
We're about to do a seminar, and what I always like to share with people, if I'm going to teach people how to lift, I got to teach them how to live. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to start off with some life lessons for everybody.
Yeah.
Then we'll get down and dirty and get into some lifting.
And it's a free seminar. I just want to say that. Like,
yeah.
Yo,
they're always for free. They're always for free.
You are the fucking man.
They're always for
really
free,
are.
man.
You are. We just did a cool podcast, and like,
oh, that podcast was fun.
Yeah, that was the best one I think I've ever done.
That was great.
For sure. And I just want to say one thing to the YouTube real quick. And I can't say it enough. I said it to the podcast, but this man is so fucking genuine. Like, seriously.
Appreciate that.
I want the internet to know that, man. And I appreciate you for coming and doing this. And everything you're about and everything you talk about, it's like, I never once was like, oh, that sounded, it's always like, it comes from your heart.
Yeah.
You never sound like you're trying to contrive some shit. It's just like real. And I appreciate that, and I know that's why all these people are here, so let's fucking have fun today. Let's have fun today. Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. Let's start this shit off. I'm at Zoo Culture. 3, 2, 1. Hoorah! Alright, there we go. There'll be a lot more of that to come. A lot of bad jokes, a lot of dick jokes, a lot of poop stories. Before we kick this off, I wanted to show you guys something, because my preparation for stuff like this is tireless. I work on this kind of thing every single day. And it's something that you guys are going to understand when we get done with this seminar today, that if you want to be great at something, you are going to have to put a lot of effort into it. And things are going to take a lot of preparation. You don't just get up here in front of people and talk and have nothing to talk about. So I want to show you guys how I was able to go from being deathly afraid of standing in front of anybody, saying much of anything, or even looking anybody in the eye, to being able to get in front of a few hundred people and be able to speak about training, nutrition, and whatever the hell else it is we're going to talk about for today. So can everybody see my phone here? These are the notes I prepped for today. See that long list?
It's like you.
Can't read it. It's like me what?
You guys take it. Not enough.
What's notes? You got,
show Brad. Show Brad.
Is it the no notes? It's like our.
There's
like
nothing. Exactly. There's nothing there. And the reason is because I'm going to do something that no one in the history of fitness has ever done.
Fucking, I like what it is.
Speak from my motherfucking heart today. And I'm going to tell you guys what's up. And I'm going to tell you guys, if I'm going to teach you how to lift, I'm going to hold you hostage here and teach you how to live. Today we will go over squats and deadlifts, and we'll go over how to bench press, and we'll go over nutrition. We're going to go over a lot of different things. But I want you guys to understand who I am and why the fuck I came down here to do a seminar for free on my own time and on my own dime. I'm Mark Bell, and you're not. The reason why I'm able to say something like that is because over a very long period of time, I have built up confidence. I know a lot of you guys see the different posts that someone like Bradley might make, or some other fitness icons, or somebody like myself might make, and you're thinking, oh shit, that would be really cool to be like them, or that'd be really cool to do some of the things that these guys are doing. Well, I would give a chunk of my left ear to be in the fucking spot that you guys are in right now. Because never in my life was I more hungry than when I was your age, and when I was just getting this fitness journey started. Things are way different now. Things are way different now, right? Things are way different when you've been doing it for a long time. And the more you think about it, and the more you do it, over a certain period of time, it will lose a little bit of its spark. You guys still have that spark. You guys still have the eye of the tiger. You guys are still excited about fitness. You're still fired up about it. I'm fired up about it too. When I get into the gym and I start training, I get excited about it too. But it's different. It's different for me now. I don't have the burning desire to squat over 1,000 pounds because I've done it before. I don't have the burning desire to bench over 800 pounds because I've done it before. You guys are still in the beginning phases and you're still trying to get better. But what I love about fitness is we all possess the ability to get better. If we took everybody in this room and I sat everyone down and I talked to them, everybody wants to be better. Nobody has ever come to me and said, hey man, I want to be worse at deadlifting. I want to be a lot weaker. Can you help me with that? Hey, you know what? Like, I'd love to be fatter. Could you help me I just want to be fat. I want to look like I don't work out. Can you assist me with that? I've been following your Instagram, I've been following what you're doing, and I'm seeing you're successful. I'm seeing the Escalades and the Range Rovers and the house and this and that. And I'd love to just do the opposite of what you're doing. I'd love to be broke. I'd love to be poor. No one ever says that shit, right? We all want to get better. The good news is, we all possess the ability to get better. However, unfortunately, we don't all possess the ability to be great. And when I'm talking about being great, I mean great in other people's eyes. And there's a reason why that pursuit of trying to be great in other people's eyes is not even a correct place to be in the first place. The reason is, when you're doing stuff for other people, you're not going to find the same satisfaction as if you're doing stuff for yourself and making progress for yourself. Those of you that hated school, much like myself, that's what I always fucking hated about school. It didn't feel like it was for me. It felt like I was doing work for other people that I didn't care about. Once I got into fitness and once I started my own inventions and started some of these other projects that I've started, I quickly started to realize how much I actually love doing these things and how much I actually love to work. When I was a kid and I sucked at school, I kind of thought I was lazy. I was like, man, I got no drive. I got no nothing. I got no oomph to me. I don't have shit going on. I can't figure it out. I can't, even as I became an adult, my brother, who's over here somewhere, he'll tell you I had nothing for many, many years. Couldn't figure shit out. My wife and I even got to a point where we lost our house. That wasn't that long ago. It was like fucking yesterday, basically. The turning point and the tipping point for me was realizing and recognizing that I'm not dumb, that I am capable of getting better. Each and every person in this room is capable of getting better from where you currently are, where you're at right now. You're able to make progress. You're able to put one foot in front of the other. And the only thing special about me, the only thing I've done is I've just been consistent. I've been doing this for a long time, and I consistently put one foot in front of the other. And I've been doing it for a long time, and I've been doing it with my head down. And then as I look around, people are like, hey, you're great. Like, you're the reason why I got into powerlifting. You're fucking awesome, man. Like, can I get a picture with you? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Sure, you can get a picture with me. No problem. But I'm not viewing it as anything special because my head has been down and I've been putting in the work. Not recognizing that it was anything special or anything different or anything unique. It was just something that I wanted to do. It's just my own pursuit. What I think happens to a lot of us is I could sit here and give you a speech and get you motivated, but it will only last for so long. The motivation dwindles. True motivation and true inspiration comes from desperation. And you're going to have to hit bottom somewhere in your life There's gonna be a time in your life where you feel like shit and you feel like you can't make any progress. And the lower that you go, the good news on that, the lower that you go, the higher you can raise up on the other end. What I think happens to all of us, we get excited, we have this journey that we want to go on. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna bench 315. You're all hyped up. You're like, all right, man, tomorrow 8 a.m. my fucking alarm goes off. I'm popping out of bed. I'm gonna go hit the gym before school and before work, and I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do that fucking bench program that Mark Bell posted on Instagram. And you're all fired up, you're all excited, right? Well, you stay up late, you watch your favorite TV show, 8 a.m. rolls around, and you're like, fuck. You roll out of bed all slow. And you're like, man, I'm just gonna take a leak and I think I'm just gonna go back to bed. And going back to bed does not progress you any further towards that goal that you just had a conversation with yourself just a few hours ago. Before you went to bed, you told yourself that you wanted to bench 315. When you woke up, it ended up being a different story because reality set in and fatigue settled in. And what happens to us each and every day is we start to cut corners. And a lot of us end up going like this, and this is everybody, this is me, I'm in this fucking bunch too. You're supposed to go around the corners. People that want to be great are saying, fuck those corners, I'm going out wide. Coming way out in here. I'm gonna get in my 10-minute walk while we're doing the seminar. Hello? Oh, man, sir? So, what happens though is we get tired. Shit happens in our life. There's a lot of responsibilities, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of things that we have to do, and a lot of things we have to get to. So instead of going around those corners, we start to come and we start to cut those corners. We're getting tired. Oh, it's a long day. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of emails to answer. I have a lot of this. I have a lot of that. And you start to cut another corner. I got to pick my kids up from baseball practice. I got to do A, I got to do B, I got to do C. So you're no longer following your same nutrition plan. You said fuck it and you stopped at McDonald's with the kids and you ate the French fries and the cheeseburger and the chocolate shake, which we all love. You keep cutting corners and cutting corners and cutting corners, and you have movement without any real activity towards moving forward towards your goal. How do you continue to move forward towards your goal? How do we do it? How do we get momentum? How do you pick up a heavy deadlift? Does anybody know? Anybody have an idea on how do you finish a heavy deadlift?
Can I say, because I know the answer?
Uh-oh, yeah, go ahead. Confidence is a huge part of it, but confidence is not going to make the weight come off the ground.
Training. Day in, day out. Doing it.
There we go. Just doing it, right? Action. Action is the only thing that can change your trajectory on where the fuck it is that you're going. Now here's where shit gets to be tricky, because your actions can't be fake. They have to be fucking real. Your actions have to be real. They have to be authentic. They can't be fake. You can't come in here and fake your workout and half-ass your workout. You're gonna have to put a lot of time and energy into that workout. You're gonna have to put a lot of thought into that workout. The workout is not just confined to just a couple exercises. It's a whole process. It ends up being a lifestyle. As you start to climb the ladder of success, the rungs on the ladder start to get fucking further and further apart. And it gets harder and harder to climb that bitch. And you get more and more tired, more and more fatigue settles in. And you want to cut corners more and more. I know, because I do it. I experience this on a daily basis. I'm very similar to a lot of you guys that are listening right now. What we need to have happen is that we need to have action. And does anybody know how we have some action other than just doing it? We have action. We have action by simply building some confidence. So there's going to have to be some way that we figure out a way to build confidence. Your actions a lot of times have to do with your thoughts. Your thoughts become your actions. Your actions end up becoming part of your behavior. Your behavior makes up who you are. Your behavior makes up your character on who the fuck you are. Who are you? Who is Bradley Martin? He's just some jacked guy who's squatting on a fucking hoverboard? If he is, I don't want to fucking talk to him. And I don't want to come to his gym, and I don't want to provide a free seminar. But I've known Bradley for a few years now, and I know that he's a lot more than that. He's got a lot more of a story than just saying, yeah, I bench 405 for a few reps. Or I can do 20 pull-ups, or I got big arms. A lot of you guys are in the process of writing your own story right now. And the only way you're going to be able to write a good one is to have action. But your behavior needs to kind of match up with everything else that you're trying to do. If we're talking about a 315-pound bench press or a 400-pound deadlift or 500-pound deadlift, whatever the numbers are for you individually, each person here is different, each person has different goals. Your actions have to match up with what it is that you're talking about. Oh, I want to make $1 million. But then you wake up at 9:30. Like that doesn't seem that dedicated. Anybody can wake up at 9:30, right? They've done surveys with people before where they take young people that are between the ages of 25 and 30, and they talk to all of them. They talk to them about success, and everybody says the same thing. Everybody says they want to be better. Everybody says they want to be more successful. And the truth of it is, a very small percentage make it. A very small percentage end up being wealthy. Wealth is not always correlated with success. We know that. But hey, it fucking helps, right? It helps to be able to afford stuff. It helps to go anywhere and to be able to afford anything at any time feels fucking awesome. So that can help quite a bit. Each person's going to define success in their own way. But having some financial freedom is 100% part of success. There's other attributes to it as well, but that ends up being part of it, because that could be really frustrating if you're fucking broke. Even if you have a lot of love in your life and you have a lot of great things, it could still be really frustrating. So in order to figure out how we become successful at something, the actions that we have to match up to that. Your thoughts and behaviors are a huge part of the makeup that goes into everything else that makes you up as a person. You have to be really careful with how far your mind drifts. I'm not going to sit here and get too much into morality, because that's going to be way different for each person. There's religion, there's all kinds of things start to come into play, right? And you guys might be judging me a certain way for certain things I've done, and I might judge you for certain things you've done. But you have to be careful how deep down that rabbit hole that you go. If you're married, does it do you any good to be going like this on Instagram? Zooming in.
Zooming in on what?
Zooming in on what? What are we zooming in on? Why are we zooming in? Right? Hey, look, we're all guilty of it. We all have our fucking flaws. There's things that are sexy, there's things that are appealing that you almost sometimes think you don't have any control over, right? But trust me when I tell you, that does not help you towards your goal at all. And you still might want to engage in certain things like that here and there, but you have to draw the line somewhere and figure out where, like, you have to recognize that it's at least a little bit of an issue. I think that's healthy for everybody in this room to realize there's some things that you do on a daily basis that's not faithful, not to your spouse or to your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. It's not faithful to yourself. It's not faithful to your own goals. It's not faithful to where you want to be in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. You're fucking yourselves over and over again by cutting these corners. They say that only 3 to 5% of the population end up being successful, end up being wealthy, end up just being successful in terms of doing some of the things that they want to do. That's a really small amount of people, right? But I think we can have a better shot and have a better chance if our actions and our behaviors start to match up and we start to build a stronger character. A big piece of the puzzle, and a big piece of the puzzle for me and why I'm able to stand here and why I feel confident even preaching some of this stuff to you guys in the first place, is that I built up confidence. And I built it up in the weight room. I built it up in the gym by getting underneath some weights. And it might sound ridiculous. It might sound like total meathead that I've learned a lot of my lessons on a bench press, or learned a lot of my lessons by taking out a heavy squat. There's no one else in this room, I don't think, that can relate to handling an 800-pound bench. There's nobody else in this room that can relate when it comes to handling a 1,000-pound squat. There's only a few people in the world that really have done some of those lifts, right? When you start to think about yourself and you're like, oh man, he said 800 pounds on the bench. Fuck, I'm at 275. That's not the way you need to look at this. That's the wrong perspective to have. I am the greatest in the world at one thing. And I don't care if it's Bradley Martin or if it's C.T. Fletcher or if anybody in the fitness industry. I do one thing better than every single one of them. I do one thing better than every single person on this fucking planet, including The Rock. Rock, I know you're watching. If he's not watching, then he's got no life, right? But the bad news is if he is watching, he really has no life. I do one thing better than everybody else in the fucking world, and that's be myself. And that's what you guys need to work on. You need to work on building confidence, having your confidence turn into your actions, having your actions and behaviors match up with your goals, and it will streamline into you having your head down, plowing forward. You fucking hit a 315 bench. Someone's like, holy shit, dude, that was great. And you're like, what? Okay, cool. I didn't know. I didn't know it was great. I was just working towards it. I was just following the steps. I was just doing the shit that I need to do to be better. Anyway, that's my fucking speech. I'm Mark Bell. Thank you guys very much. I'm going to take you guys over and show you guys how to squat and how to deadlift and how to bench. So let's head over here to some squats.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Oh, this guy's already squatting. Look at that. Yeah. He's already in it. Alright, let's figure out which, let's see. How can I get everybody to see that? I think when you do a squat, bench, and deadlift, there's a certain routine, a certain ritual, there's a certain stance, right, for every single movement that we do. If you're an MMA fighter, there's a certain stance when you go to fight. If you're a